Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. 007 here. I wanted to do a quick video just explaining my plan for through hiking the Appalachian Trail here in 2025. It's a little different than what I had last year when I attempted in 2024 and today is 1st of January, so I can say last year. Hard to believe I'm actually about 8 days away from leaving to go up to start the Appalachian Trail. So this seems like a perfect time to put this video out. I've been waiting on the AWOL guide. This guide comes out every year and you normally get it around December. That's when I got it. And the AWOL guide, they kind of they look at the AT and adjust it for where the trail has changed a little bit. So the mileage can change each year, you know, a couple miles here, a couple miles there. And so for 2025, the mileage is 2,197.4 miles, which is the same it was last year. I don't believe that's necessarily going to be true because Hurricane Helena had a lot of damage, and so they are still, you know, trying to work that out. And in the new guide, I don't know if you can see it, but see the yellow there, it talks about the damage from the hurricane. And so that's kind of affected my plan as well. So with that, I'm just going to kind of get into this. So I've broken down my hike into 3 phases. And it's going to be a flip-flop, but not a traditional flip-flop. So phase 1, my original plan was to start in February and hike to Damascus. And then I have a lot of commitments late spring, summer that I have to come back home for. So after that was done, I was going to go back to Maine, do the flip-flop, and go from Maine down to Damascus. And that would complete the hike. So to get credit, you have to do the entire trail within a 12-month period. So in November, you've seen I did a few hikes in the Smoky Mountains. I also did a few hikes in December, and I was trying to, I wanted to do a longer hike, a good shakeout, and what I wanted to do was the Foothills Trail. You know, it's 70, 72, 76 miles, but the hurricane has damaged a lot of that trail and it's not open all the way through yet. So that didn't quite meet the requirement I was looking for. And as I got thinking about it and talking to people, you know, I'm going back out on the AT and everybody's like, "What, you're starting at Springer Mountain? You've already done that piece." Like, yeah, but I want to do the whole thing in 12 months. So the more I thought about how, well, I'm retracing a lot of steps that I've done before. And so the plan I came up with was, instead of doing, and there's other hikes I could do, certainly. But the plan I ended up going with was, I'm going to do in January, next week, around the 10th of January starting, and I'm going to do Springer Mountain to Winding Stair Gap. That's about 109 miles. And that'll serve kind of as a shakeout as well. I've already done it once, that area, so I'm familiar with it. So it helps me in my planning to do that. And my idea is, so it's going to be about 10 days. I'm not in any rush. So the idea is I'm going to drive up to that area. I'm going to stay in a hostel in the Hiawassee area. They're going to shuttle me to Springer Mountain. I'm going to hike up to, I think, Unicoi Gap. Unicoi Gap, I'm going to jump off. That's after about 5-6 days. I'm going to jump off, probably take a 0 day, and then I'll head back on at Unicoi Gap up to Winding Stair Gap, get picked up back to the hostel, and then get my vehicle and come home. So I'm thinking that's, you know, around the end of January. I don't have a firm plan on exactly miles per day. Just kind of try to take it easy a little bit. So then in February, when I initially was going to start around the middle of February, I'm going to go back out to Winding Stair Gap area, and I'm going to hike from Winding Stair Gap north to, my goal is to make it to Damascus, but that's where it gets a little crazy because the hurricane damage is still up there. It's really, the trail's only impassable for I think less than 10 miles right now, and it's getting better every day. So my hope is that by the time I get up there, it'll be passable all the way to Damascus, but I'll see how that goes. But I know that I can get to Erwin, Tennessee. So Erwin, Tennessee is 344 miles, and Damascus is 469 miles. So the total miles. So I would do for phase 2, 235 miles to Erwin or 360 miles to Damascus. And I showed a picture in between this phase 1 and phase 2 just to kind of give you a visual of what I'm trying to do. And right after I get done explaining this, you'll see in the phase 2 picture, I have a block there of the area because I'm just not sure what it's going to look like. And I'm not going to stress over it. I'm, just whatever it is what it is. So however far I get, I'm going to jump off trail again. So that'll be around 1st of March-ish, middle of March, come back home. And then I have April, May, June, July. Those 4 months are when I have my commitments that I'm not going to be able to get out because grandkids are important and things like that. So I'm going to come back, take care of that, and then I'm going to attempt phase 3. So phase 3 then, around the 1st of August, I'm going to fly up to Maine and start at Mount Katahdin, and I'm going to start moving south. And wherever I jumped off in phase 2, whether it's Damascus or Erwin, that's where I'm coming back to. So if everything goes great, I'll come back to Damascus, and I'd like to finish in a town, not just in the middle of nowhere. And Damascus being the trail town that it is, seems like a great place to end my AT thru hike. But Damascus would be 1,728 miles. And if I have to come all the way back to Erwin, 1,853 miles. And my thought is that they'll have the trail clear by then, because now we're talking about October, that kind of time frame. The good news is, for me anyway, I do not like hiking in the heat. So this will really help me out in that area. I'll start in Maine in August. So hopefully just a little bit cooler, although I'm sure it's still going to be hot. But the temperatures will just start going down from there, September, October, and hopefully be done before December of this year. So that'll complete the whole hike within the 12 months. So with that, I'll be out next, like I said, next week. I'll start with my day 1 video at Springer Mountain, and I'll still post every day. There'll be about a week lag because the internet, issues out there. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to get out there and start this adventure. I hope that a lot of you see this and say, hey, I want to kind of track along, see how that old man does. But yeah, if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and come along for the journey, and I'll talk to you in a week or so.